Hey YouTube, this is Frank with Strate Tactics Airsoft. This here is the new Apex R5 M10 version. What makes this gun unique compared to other guns in the market is its color. It's made into a bronze gold color, making it very unique compared to other guns in the market. If you also look here where I'm holding, the railing has been reduced significantly, making it a very light gun. It's not as light as a sport line, but it's almost there. So if you play a lot of CQB or field games, you know a light gun can do a lot for you, especially with your arms getting tired. Out of the box, you stick 11.1 LiPo in it. You're going to get about 20 to 22 RPS. Your FPS out of the box is about 400. You may get variations with different guns or different R5s when you're out of the box. 390, 395, 405, but usually 400 is your average. I know there's a lot of videos out there on YouTube talking about its color, its railing, its internals, high torque gears, high torque motor, all that stuff. But here at Strate Tactics Airsoft, we're going to be the first ones to take this apart. One thing I can say about it is we own 3 R5s. Our team owns 3, and our third one, the last one we bought, was actually failed on us. The gear stripped on our last game. We shot about 5,000 rounds with an 11.1 LiPo, and the gear stripped the very last game. We have 2 other LiPos, or excuse me, 2 other R5s that we run on LiPos, and we shot about 20,000 rounds, and they still work fine. They're just like new. Just this one in particular, the gear stripped, and don't let that discourage you from buying any R5s, because you can't get lucky with every gun, and we got lucky with our first 2 guns. Our third one, we didn't get that lucky. So we're going to go ahead and take it apart and have you guys look at the internals. Alright. Hey guys, so here's the Apex R5. We're going to go ahead and pop out the front receiver pin. So it comes out easy. The charging handle, don't worry about that. That comes loose. The hop-up unit, we went ahead and removed the spring. That's the only thing we did as far as this gun. The reason why we removed the spring is because with the spring there, sometimes we'll get variations on FPS. So the spring's not really needed, so you're fine without it. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to just slide the stock out. Then if you look into the buffer tube, there's a screw in there, so go ahead and pop that out. That's a screw that connects to the gearbox and the piston in the gearbox. I'm just twisting it out. Hopefully I got it out already. Yep, there you go. So these 2 things you're going to need later. Set that aside. Set that aside. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the motor plate and the motor. There's 2 screws to the motor plate and the motor. I'm kind of curious to see what the motor looks like. That's the motor. Doesn't look like the motor has any markings on it. No markings. Alright. Motor plate there. If you look into the pistol grip, there's 2 screws in there. So you just go ahead and unscrew those. Got one out, second one. So we got that. Be careful when you take out the pistol grip from the from the gun or you remove it, sometimes the wires will get caught and it'll rip them, and you don't want that. So go ahead and put that to the side. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to pop out this little piece here. That piece. So there's a screw right here that comes across. Just going to pop it out. If you have a small hex, it'll come out. So I got that out. Sometimes you'll need to pop it out, but this time I was able to slide it out. That goes in there. Alright, that goes together. Remember, you can't remove the gearbox unless you take this out, okay? So make sure you keep those two things together. Alright, next thing is the mag release. We're going to remove the mag release. I'm just looking for the right hex that fits in it. Okay, make sure you keep this together. It's a 3-piece set. So it comes with this, the spring, that goes on top, and then the screw. That's a 4-piece. Alright, so you keep those things together. Alright. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to loosen up this ambidextrous mag release. Compared to other guns, this is probably the hardest thing you're going to have to take out and reassemble. So we got that out. There's a screw right there. Alright. And then the rear pin comes loose after you know, take some screws out and you loosen some stuff up. So it's very loose. I don't need to pop it out. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and pop out the middle receiver pin. So that came out in one hit. So go ahead and receiver pin came out. So now you just got to be really careful taking this out, because the ambidextrous or ambidextrous selector switch has like 2 gears. So sometimes if you pop it out, they'll come flying out. So just be careful. I'm just gonna take my time with this. There you go. Got it out. Alright, so here's the 2 screws that come onto the sides, or 2 gears that come out to the sides of the ambidextrous selector switch. And then here on the gearbox, that you don't see on a lot of gearboxes, is a wheel. I'm spinning it right now, it's right here. So these things go onto the sides of these and they turn together and move the selector switch. Okay, so this one you can actually pop out. Just do it gently because you don't want to crack the wheel. And I'm going to pop it out with a very small flathead. Just try to get under there. So here you go. So these 4 things work together and work the selector switch. Alright, so those 4 things. Alright, other than that, it worked. Now we're down to the gearbox. So the gearbox is just like any other Apex gearbox. It has this piece here. The R5 is not a blowback system, but I don't know why this is here. It's just probably just to cover the hop up, and then you use the charging handle to pull it back so you can adjust the hop up. So other than that, that's probably that's the only thing it does. I'm thinking about taking it out only because it'll slow down my RPS. It's still connected to the piston. So you know what, let's go ahead and open it up. So when you take out these screws, you have to pull this, I'm just going to call it blowback. You're going to have to pull back the blowback to take out these two front screws. Alright, so you got those two screws out. Next thing you do is basically take out the spring. So this is a quick change spring system, so it's going to be a piece of cake to take this out. Okay, so make sure you just have the right size. Alright, so that came out easy. Alright guys, so I basically got the gun apart, or all the screws apart of the gearbox, apart from the gearbox, and now I'm just going to go ahead and pop it open. Should be easy. There we go. So that came out easily. Alright, and there's your gearbox, and that's an Apex gearbox. Here's your piston, your cylinder head, everything. Alright, so there you guys go. I'm just going to do a quick close-up of this. And there you guys go. I'm trying to focus. Alright guys, so this is Frank with Strate Tactics Airsoft. I'm going to do the next video and reassemble this bad boy. Remember to like and subscribe guys. Strate Tactics Airsoft.